Hi everybody, welcome back to Creative Witchy Mama. Thank you for tuning in today, and I'm returning to see what I have in store. And for those that are new here, thank you very much. I really appreciate you tuning in. And if you are liking this content, please hit the subscribe and the notification bell. I'd be truly, truly grateful. Thank you so much. Today, I actually want to share with you a pretty traumatic experience that I had this week, and kind of leaning into, I guess, the vulnerability of being a solo mum, maybe, or just being a woman. So this week, I was robbed of a diamond engagement ring from a previous relationship. I was trying to sell it on Marketplace. Sold many things on Marketplace before. The guy came to the house and then took the item as well as all my paperwork with it, and threatened myself, my son, and my friend with a gun. I think the most frightening thing for me was, in that moment, I had Harrison on my hip. And I think I was in disbelief at that moment that somebody could do this when, like, there was a child there. And honestly, it was terrifying. And as you can see, I'm still visibly upset and shook up by it. But I really think it's worth talking about, because in reflection, just how vulnerable we are as women. I had my friend around. She was coming around anyway. But it was nice to have somebody else there. It was quite a large sale, and to have someone there, I kind of felt a little bit, safer. But he came in and I guess sized up my friend, and saw that, it wasn't a threat. And look, I mean, it happened so quickly, so incredibly quickly. But like I suppose that the feelings of it are they're still captured inside my body at the moment. I'm definitely trying to release them, and I feel like talking about it, on here, also with friends, family, etc., is really important, because, to be able to move through these situations, I think being able to kind of share it and release it, it's really good. But what it's really highlighted for me is a couple of things. Like I said previously, the vulnerability of not just women, but but solo mums, because, there is nobody else around. There is no, hubby out the back, all of that sort of stuff. There isn't. But also, selling things, and we should be able to feel safe in our own home. Like, I feel violated in my own home, and I almost didn't do this video here in this setting. I was actually going to do it at my friend's house, but I've come back and I needed to get some stuff done, and because I'm actually not staying here at the moment, but like, it's getting better and better every time I come back, but I feel like it's kind of tarnished my home. And I just don't think any of us should ever have to go through that. And, for those that are out there opportunistic, making these threatening demands, etc., and doing this to people, I mean, look, karma will come back. I'm a big believer of that. But also, on the flip side of it all, although I was horrified that this all happened with Harrison too, I almost feel like if he hadn't have been on me, would this guy have become maybe violent towards my friend and I? I mean, this guy, he was a tall guy. He was, 6 foot plus, big guy, could definitely overpower us very, very easily. And I almost feel like Harrison kind of saved us a bit from it being worse, like physically worse, because none of us were physically injured, thank goodness. And clearly we could have been. But also, he only took that one thing, which I'm also grateful for, I guess, as well, because again, it could have been a lot worse. But I shouldn't have to be grateful for those small things, I think. I just think our home is our safe place and we shouldn't have to feel vulnerable in it. And how can we as a community, solo mums or as women or just, vulnerable people in the community, how can we help each other be able to feel safe? So when we do need to, sell some things on a marketplace or something like that, how can we feel like we're not going to be violated in our own home? Because this has really shook me to my core, I've got to admit. But I do believe that this was obviously meant to happen to me for a reason. And maybe it's so I can talk about it. Maybe it's so I can bring awareness to others that are doing this. Maybe it's something completely different. I don't know. But I wanted to share it with everyone, and I guess highlight how vulnerable we are. And maybe it's a sign of the times as well, how desperate other people are. I don't know anything about this guy. I have no clue about him, but maybe it is a sign of the times that he is very desperate because cost of living. Maybe he's been kicked out of home. I don't know. I don't know the situations or scenarios, but I feel like we are, I don't know, free falling into a pretty dark era. I know this year has definitely been pegged for a lot of changes, like globally, structurally, everything. And I feel like for me, this is a part of that. I have already gone through, I guess, a bit of an awakening. I'm very awake, I'm very aware, but also there's things that are happening around us all the time that we just have no control over. But also, I believe that for some reason this was meant to happen, and maybe it was meant to happen to myself and my friend together. We run a wellness business together. Maybe it was to validify our existence as a wellness business, to verify our I don't know, like story, I guess. I don't know. Obviously, we've both been through lots of trauma on different things. Now we have this shared experience that is quite horrific. So, I mean, look, anybody else who has gone through anything like this, my heart absolutely goes out to you. If you, like me, have gone through moments of really blaming yourself for putting your child or children or your friends at risk, this isn't your fault, and it's not my fault either. This is that person's fault for creating these feelings. So I want you to know that this isn't your fault if you've gone through something like this. And the feelings, I think, are very natural. I definitely don't want to dampen that, but yeah, I know it's not my fault, but um it doesn't like stop those waves of emotions from coming through. Because in that moment I thought, how could I do this to my baby? How could I put my own son at risk like this? And what a terrible mum I am for doing this. And also my friend, I apologized straight away. I said, I can't believe I put you at risk like this. But it wasn't my fault. honestly, I do know that my rational brain knows that. And I'm really trying to lean into my rational side, but the emotions do still keep coming. And I think that is that's normal. I will be taking full advantage of any assistance that is provided through counselling or with victim support, because I think that's really important too. And look, I hope at some point this guy is caught, and like I said, karma will come back and get him at some point, I would imagine. But yeah, I really wanted to highlight how things happen all the time to people, and but I do think when you're a woman, and for me, I'm a solo mum. Like, I live in my house alone with my son, and it can be terrifying when things like this happen. Really terrifying, and make you not want to be in your own home, be frightened. We really shouldn't have to feel like this. We really shouldn't. So yeah, my heart goes out to anyone else who has gone through this. If anybody has any advice, if anybody has any comments, please jump in, and yeah, I'll respond to you as soon as I can. But I also think it's really important for us to talk about these issues. Even for me, I'm on camera, I'm crying, and I think it's important to do that, because even if it raises some awareness to somebody, or just a shared experience as well, I think that's it's really worth something. So, look, I thank you very much for tuning in today. I will talk a bit more about this. This was obviously a very raw day for me, because this has only just happened within the week. But I do definitely want to talk a lot more and lean into how maybe I can then support other women more so, like even through my wellness business, or externally from that. I don't know. But yeah, thank you so much for tuning in today. I really appreciate it. If you have enjoyed this and you'd love to stick around and watch some more, please hit the subscribe and the notification bell too. It really helps me get to know you, and understand what you do and you don't want to see. So thank you. Until next time, thank you.